We've all had those days where we feel like happiness is just out of reach, like we're caught in a storm that won't let up. But what if I told you that you have the power to shift your mindset and choose happiness no matter what life throws your way? Imagine waking up every morning feeling lighter, more fulfilled, and at peace. What if you could make happiness not just a fleeting moment, but a constant companion? Oprah Winfrey has cracked the code to this, and today I'm going to share 6 powerful lessons that can change the way you see and experience happiness every single day. Stick around, because you won't want to miss this. It's easy to get caught up in the rush of daily life, isn't it? The endless to-do list, the constant noise, and the feeling that we never have enough time to slow down. We're often so busy focusing on what we don't have, what we wish we could change, or what's missing from our lives. But what if, just for a moment, we stopped and focused on what we already have? Oprah has spoken about this so often, how the simple act of gratitude can completely shift our perspective. It's one of the most powerful tools we have, and yet we often overlook it in the chaos of our lives. Imagine this for a second. You wake up in the morning, and the first thing you do is think of one thing you're thankful for. Maybe it's the warmth of your bed, the sound of birds outside your window, or even just the fact that you've made it through another day. It's a small thing. When you start your day from a place of appreciation, it sets a tone that resonates throughout everything that follows. The mind has this incredible ability to focus on what it's given, rather than constantly yearning for what it doesn't have. Gratitude is a way to teach your mind to lean into abundance rather than scarcity. It's so easy to take things for granted, isn't it? We've all done it, seen the same things over and over again, and it's almost as if they become invisible. But think about this. How many things do we have in our lives that others might dream of? Health, a roof over our heads, food on our tables, the people we love. These are all gifts that, when we really look at them, can bring a deep sense of contentment. Oprah often talks about how waking up in a place of gratitude opens up the heart and the mind to see the richness in the small moments, the ones that often pass unnoticed. And it's not just about big, obvious things. Oprah has shared how her practice of gratitude began with the simplest of things, the first sip of coffee in the morning or the way sunlight comes through the window. It's a shift in how you see the world. Gratitude isn't about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about acknowledging what is good right here, right now, even when the rest of the world feels off balance. To practice, it asks you to slow down and notice the beauty. Ordinary and the 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 ordinary, in 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 the ordinary, the Maddie 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 in the ordinary, the magicry 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 in the ordinary, the magic 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 in the muddy 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 in the ordinary, ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. Beauty in the ordinary, the magic in the mundane. The more you do it, the more you realize how much you actually have to be thankful for. It's a ripple effect that slowly turns your focus toward the positive, making it easier to deal with the negative. Oprah has taught us that when we approach life with an open heart of gratitude, we don't just passively wait for happiness to find us. We actively choose it. It's in the small things, the daily moments, that we begin to cultivate a sense of peace and joy. Think of gratitude as a lens through which you see the world. It's like putting on a pair of glasses that make everything look a little brighter, a little more beautiful. And here's the thing. The more you wear those glasses, the more you start to realize that the world has been beautiful all along. We just sometimes forget to look. Gratitude isn't about perfection, and it doesn't mean ignoring the tough stuff. But it is a way of acknowledging that, even in the midst of struggles, there's always something to be thankful for. That shift in mindset can take you from feeling like life is happening to you, to feeling like you're an active participant in shaping your experience. By recognizing the good, we not only uplift our own spirits, but also send out an energy that draws more good into our lives. It's a cycle. When we focus on gratitude, the universe responds with even more to be grateful for. So, we've talked about gratitude, But there's something even deeper that Oprah believes is a game changer when it comes to happiness. It's about how we tell our own story. We all have a narrative we follow, a kind of script that we've written or been handed by life, but often we don't even realize we're playing by someone else's rules. We let external circumstances, people's opinions, and even society's expectations define who we are and what our happiness looks like. But what if we stopped handing the pen to others? What if we took control of our own story and decided how we want it to unfold? It sounds simple, but it's a radical shift. Oprah has always believed that you have the power to shape your own life, no matter where you start or what challenges you face. The way we think about ourselves, our abilities, our potential, and our worth shapes every decision we make and every step we take. If we see ourselves as victims of circumstance, we'll constantly feel like life is something that happens to us, not for us. But if we begin to see ourselves as the author of our story, we realize we have the power to change the narrative. Life isn't a set of fixed events, it's a series of choices, and with every choice, we rewrite the script. When we take control of our narrative, we stop waiting for things to happen to us and start making things happen. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending that challenges don't exist. It means shifting from a mindset of helplessness to one of empowerment. Think about it. Every time you face an obstacle, you get to choose how you respond to it. You get to choose whether it's an opportunity for growth or just another setback. Oprah often talks about how the most difficult moments in her life have been the ones that shaped her into the person she is today. She didn't let those moments define her negatively. Instead, she let them fuel her purpose and strength. It's about stepping into your own power and recognizing that, regardless of where you've been or where you come from, you have the agency to decide what comes next. It's about taking ownership of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. The world may be full of things we can't control, but there's so much that is within our grasp. We control how we react, how we process challenges, and most importantly, how we view ourselves. When you choose to take the reins of your own life, you stop giving away your power. You stop letting others define you, and you start defining yourself. Oprah often speaks about the importance of understanding your worth and not letting anyone or anything diminish it. You don't need external validation to know that you are enough. The story you tell yourself is the foundation of everything else in your life. If you believe you are capable, strong, and deserving of happiness, then you'll approach life from a place of confidence and clarity. But if you believe the opposite, that you're not enough or that life will always be hard, then you'll keep attracting those same experiences into your reality. Taking control of your narrative also means embracing all parts of yourself, including the parts that are still a work in progress. Oprah talks about the importance of self-compassion, of accepting yourself as you are while striving to grow and evolve. This is a process, not a one-time event. We all have flaws and weaknesses, but we also have strengths and brilliance. By owning your story, both the light and the dark, you free yourself from the need to pretend or wear masks. You allow yourself to be real, and in that authenticity, you find the true power of happiness. Every single day is an opportunity to choose a new chapter, a new path. And while life might not always go according to plan, we always have the power to shape our journey. It's never too late to start rewriting the story you've been telling yourself. Your life is yours to create, and that's where true happiness begins. When we talk about happiness, it's easy to focus on personal habits and mindsets, but there's a crucial element that Oprah often highlights: our relationships. The people we surround ourselves with have an incredible impact on our happiness, more than we often realize. There's this idea that we are the sum of the 5 people we spend the most time with, and when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense. The energy of the people around us affects our own energy. And if we're constantly surrounded by negativity, doubt, or toxicity, it's almost impossible to stay in positive mindset for long. But when we choose to surround ourselves with uplifting, inspiring individuals, we begin to feel more grounded, empowered, and yes, happier. Oprah teaches us that the people who lift us up, who make us feel seen and heard, are the ones who play a pivotal role in shaping our lives. It's not just about having people around, but having the right people. And it's not about quantity. Sometimes it only takes a few solid, supportive friends or mentors to truly change the quality of your life. Think about the people who fill your life with joy, who believe in you even when you struggle to believe in yourself, who challenge you to grow in the best ways. These are the relationships that nurture our happiness. It's about energy. Think about how you feel after spending time with someone who drains you, someone who's always complaining or always focused on what's wrong. It leaves you feeling tired, uninspired, and even more discouraged than before. On the flip side, think about how you feel after spending time with someone who makes you laugh, who sees the good in you and in life, who encourages you to go after your dreams. You leave feeling lighter, more hopeful, and ready to take on the world. Oprah reminds us that we have the choice to fill our lives with people who bring us up rather than bring us down. But it's not just about finding the right people. It's also about being the right person for others. Oprah often says that in order to receive love and support, we must be willing to give it. True happiness comes not just from being around positive people, but from becoming that positive force in someone else's life. The energy you put into your relationships, the kindness, the listening, the encouragement, comes back to you in ways that amplify your own happiness. It's also important to recognize that not all relationships are meant to last forever, and that's okay. Sometimes people come into our lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, and recognizing the difference is key. Holding on to relationships that no longer serve us, that drain us or hinder our growth, only holds us back. Oprah talks about how she's learned to let go of relationships that don't align with her values or her growth. It doesn't mean you don't care, but it means you are honoring your own happiness by creating space for the people who truly support and elevate you. When you have the right people around you, you start to realize that happiness isn't just something that comes from within. It's something that's nurtured by the connections we have with others. We're social creatures, and our sense of belonging is fundamental to our well-being. The more we share ourselves with others, our thoughts, struggles, our successes, the more we feel connected, and in that connection, we find joy. It's also about mutual support. True friendships are built on a foundation of trust, respect, and reciprocity. Oprah often talks about the power of having a tribe, people who have your back no matter what. These people aren't just there for the good times, but they're there when life gets tough, when you need someone to hold space for you, or when you need a gentle push to keep going. Happiness grows in these kinds of spaces, where love and care flow both ways. By choosing the right people to be around and being the right person in return, we create a web of support and positivity that continually fuels our happiness. Our relationships aren't just a side part of our lives, they're the soil in which our happiness can truly grow. And when we nurture them, they'll nurture us right back. In the journey toward happiness, there's one vital practice that we often overlook: taking care of ourselves. It's something we're told time and time again, but how often do we actually prioritize it? Life has a way of demanding more and more from us, whether it's work, family, responsibilities, or even our own internal pressures. We get so caught up in trying to meet the needs of others or handle the tasks in front of us that we forget to check in with ourselves. Oprah has always emphasized that self-care isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's not about indulging ourselves with things that feel good in the moment. It's about honoring our own well-being, recognizing our worth, and creating space to recharge physically, mentally, and emotionally. Self-care isn't just about bubble baths and massages. It's about setting boundaries, making time for rest, and ensuring we're not running on empty. It's easy to think that happiness comes from outside of us, from achievements or possessions or the approval of others. But Oprah reminds us that true happiness comes from within, and taking care of ourselves is how we nurture that inner peace. When we neglect ourselves, we slowly start to lose touch with who we are. We become drained, exhausted, and out of alignment with our true needs. That's when frustration and burnout start to creep in and happiness seems further out of reach. But when we make self-care a priority, we create a foundation from which our happiness can grow. It's about giving ourselves permission to rest, to pause, to just be. Oprah has talked about how she finds joy in quiet moments, whether it's sitting with her thoughts, going for a walk in nature, or simply sitting in silence. These moments of stillness are where we reconnect with ourselves and regain perspective. In our fast-paced world, we're constantly on the go, constantly plugged in, and constantly multitasking. But true happiness doesn't come from doing more. It comes from being present. It's in those quiet moments, when we're not running around trying to keep up with the world, that we reconnect with the peace that's always there, waiting for us to notice. Self-care also means listening to our bodies, paying attention to our needs, and giving ourselves permission to say no when we need to. Oprah often talks about how she's learned to honor her own rhythm. For her, that means not overcommitting, not saying yes to everything, and making time to rest when she feels drained. She knows that in order to be her best self, she needs to give herself the space to recharge, and we all need that. We can't pour from an empty cup. And the truth is, the more we take care of ourselves, the more we have to give to others too. It's about recognizing that taking care of ourselves isn't selfish, it's essential. Often we feel guilty for taking time for ourselves, as if we're letting someone down or being indulgent. But Oprah teaches us that by putting ourselves first, we actually become better partners, better friends, better parents, and better contributors to the world. We're more present, more focused, and more energized when we take care of our own needs first. It's like putting on your own oxygen mask before helping others. It's not just for your own benefit, it's for everyone around you. Self-care also means allowing ourselves to feel and process our emotions. We live in a world that often tells us to push through pain, to ignore our feelings, or to always be on. But Oprah encourages us to embrace our emotions, all of them: joy, sadness, anger, fear. It's in allowing ourselves to feel deeply that we truly heal and grow. Happiness isn't about constant positivity. It's about honoring all of our emotions and recognizing that each one is part of the human experience. By taking care of ourselves, by carving out time for rest, listening to our bodies, and allowing ourselves to feel and process, we create the space for our happiness to flourish. It's in the small acts of self-care, the everyday choices to honor our needs, that we build the foundation for lasting joy. There's something powerful about letting go, something we often don't realize until we try it. We spend so much of our time gripping tightly to things, ideas, plans, people, expectations, believing that if we hold on hard enough, we can control the outcome. But here's the truth. The more we try to control, the more we find ourselves feeling frustrated, drained, and disconnected from what really matters. Oprah has spoken often about the liberation that comes with releasing the need to control everything around us. When we stop fighting against the flow of life and allow things to unfold naturally, we create space for peace, growth, and most importantly, happiness. Life has a way of throwing us curveballs, things we didn't plan for, things we didn't expect. And while we might think that the key to happiness is being able to control everything that happens to us, the truth is we have very little control over most of it. We can't control other people's actions or the circumstances we find ourselves in, but we can control how we react. We can control the meaning we assign to the events of our lives, and it's in this shift that we find true freedom. When we hold on to the need to control everything, we trap ourselves in a constant state of tension and anxiety. We're always trying to manage outcomes, to manipulate situations, to predict what will happen next. But this constant need for control keeps us from being present, keeps us from enjoying the moment we're in. Oprah teaches us that true happiness comes when we accept that not everything can be controlled, and when we stop trying to force things into a mold that fits our desires. We begin to realize that life is not about perfection or predictability. It's about experience, and each experience has something valuable to offer us. Letting go is not about giving up or being passive. It's about surrendering to the flow of life. It's about recognizing that sometimes the best thing we can do is trust. Trust that the universe or whatever higher power you believe in is guiding you even when it doesn't look the way you expect. Trust that life will unfold as it's meant to, even if it takes you down a path you hadn't planned on. Oprah often says that when we release our tight grip on life, we allow room for unexpected blessings to show up, blessings that we would have missed if we'd kept our focus solely on our own plans. This doesn't mean we shouldn't have goals, dreams, or intentions. Those are important, but it does mean that we don't need to force everything into a predetermined box. Life is full of surprises, and sometimes the detours are where the most growth happens. When we let go of our need to control, we open ourselves up to new possibilities, to opportunities we might have never seen if we'd stayed so focused on what we thought we wanted. Oprah talks about how some of the best moments in her life came from moments of surrender, when she let go of the need to control and simply allowed herself to be open to what life had in store for her. And here's the thing, letting go also means releasing past hurts, regrets, and disappointments. Holding on to these emotional weights only holds us back. When we carry the pain of past experiences, it affects how we move forward. Oprah teaches us that forgiveness, whether it's forgiving others or forgiving ourselves, is a powerful step in releasing the past. Letting go of resentment, guilt, and anger creates space for healing, for peace, and for happiness. The more we let go, the more we realize how much energy we've been wasting in trying to control things outside of ourselves. We begin to focus more on what we can influence, our mindset, our reactions, our energy. And as we shift our focus from trying to manage everything to simply allowing things to unfold, we begin to find a deeper sense of peace. Happiness doesn't come from forcing life to be a certain way. It comes from accepting life as it is and finding joy in the journey no matter where it leads us. There's one more element that Oprah emphasizes as a key to happiness, and it's something that we often overlook in our quest for fulfillment: the importance of purpose. We live in a world that constantly asks us to do more, be more, and achieve more. But the truth is, none of that will bring true happiness unless it's aligned with something deeper, something that feels meaningful to us. Oprah believes that when we connect with our true purpose in life, we unlock a level of happiness that isn't fleeting or superficial. It's a deep, soul-level contentment that comes from knowing we're living in alignment with who we really are. Purpose isn't something that's handed to us. It's something we create by listening to our inner calling, by paying attention to what lights us up and what makes us feel alive. Oprah has often shared how she discovered her own purpose through a process of self-discovery, and it wasn't always an easy or clear path. It's easy to get distracted by the expectations of others, by societal pressures, or even by our own fears of not being good enough. But when we make space to truly reflect on what matters most to us, when we tune into our passions and our strengths, we start to see the threads of purpose woven through our lives. Purpose doesn't necessarily have to be tied to a big career goal or a grand achievement. It's about the deeper meaning behind what we do. It's about finding the intersection between what we love, what we're good at, and what the world needs. When we're aligned with that, it doesn't matter if we're doing something a big or a small. We feel fulfilled because we're living in a way that resonates with our truest selves. Oprah talks about how she discovered her purpose through her work, connecting with others, sharing stories, and helping people tap into their own potential. For her, that has been the thread that ties everything together and gives her life meaning no matter what else is happening. But it's important to recognize that finding purpose isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing process. Our purpose evolves as we grow and change. Oprah encourages us not to be too rigid in our thinking or expectations. Sometimes we think that purpose is something that we should have figured out by a certain age or at a specific time in life. But purpose doesn't work like that. It's not a destination, it's a journey. And as we move through different stages of life, what we find meaningful can shift. That's okay. The key is to keep exploring, keep listening to ourselves, and keep adjusting course as needed. As Oprah says, you don't have to have it all figured out to be on the right path. Living with purpose also helps us navigate life's challenges. When we're clear on what matters to us, when we understand why we're doing what we're doing, setbacks and obstacles become easier to handle. We don't feel as defeated by failure because we know that every setback is just part of the process of growth. Purpose gives us resilience. It helps us see beyond the current moment and connect with the bigger picture. Oprah has often shared how her own setbacks have been stepping stones, moments that, though difficult, ultimately led her to a deeper understanding of herself and her purpose. It's this ability to stay connected to our purpose no matter what happens around us that keeps us grounded and focused on what truly matters. When we live with purpose, we also begin to impact others in a meaningful way. Our purpose isn't just about us, it's about how we can contribute to the world around us. Oprah has spent much of her life using her platform to uplift others, to share wisdom, and to encourage people to step into their own power. She believes that when we're clear on our purpose, we naturally find ways to serve others, to make a difference, no matter how big or small. And in serving others, we find a deeper joy that goes beyond personal accomplishments. Helping others brings a sense of fulfillment that can't be replicated by chasing after external success alone. Ultimately, finding purpose is about listening to your heart, trusting your instincts, and being open to the journey. It's about following what feels right for you, not what others think is right for you. And when we live with purpose, happiness becomes not something we seek outside of ourselves, but something that arises naturally from within, a byproduct of living authentically and with intention. So here's the thing. Happiness is not a destination, it's a daily practice. By incorporating these 6 powerful principles into your life, you can create a ripple effect of positivity and joy that spreads far beyond just today. You have the tools. It's time to start using them.